in the book of Matthew. I wish you to turn to the Gospel of Matthew tonight, chapter 8, and verses 5 through 13. Now, I want to tell you what a privilege and a joy it is to me to preach this sermon. The sermon is titled, Right Believing, the Master Key to Healing. I always love this message. I begin reading now in Matthew chapter 8 at verse 5. And when Jesus was entered into Capernaum, there came unto him a centurion, a Roman army captain, beseeching him and saying, Lord, my servant lieth at home, sick of the palsy, grievously tormented. And Jesus saith unto him, I will come and heal him. The centurion answered and said, Lord, I'm not worthy that thou shouldest come under my roof, but speak the word only, and my servant shall be healed. When Jesus heard it, he marveled, and said to them that followed, Verily I say unto you, I have not found so great faith, no, not in Israel. And Jesus said unto the centurion, and here is the text, and Jesus said unto the centurion, Go thy way, and as thou hast believed, so be it done unto thee. And his servant was healed in the selfsame hour. Tonight, I wish to speak to you on right believing, the master key to healing. Jesus stood in beautiful Capernaum at the edge of the blue waters of Galilee and spoke to a man about healing, about great faith, and told him that if he should believe, it should be done unto him. He told this man, As thou hast believed, so be it done unto thee. And this great healing scene or text was selected to go into the Bible because it tells people and shows people in all generations and ages that right believing, that the kind of believing you do is the master key to healing. The scene took place in the beautiful city of Capernaum, and it happened between two men, Jesus of Nazareth and a Roman army captain. And right out in the public streets, he got down on his knees. He looked up into Jesus' face and called him Lord. He knelt in the streets and transferred his allegiance. He had never called a man Lord before in his life except Caesar. And now in broad open daylight in public, he transfers that allegiance from man to Jesus Christ of Nazareth and is converted and saved by the power of Jesus Christ, the Son of the living God. Then, when he called him Lord, he said, Lord, my servant lieth at home, sick of the palsy, grievously tormented. Jesus said to him, I will come and heal him. Lord, I believe, he said. I believe. If you'll speak the word, my servant shall be healed. That was turning his faith loose. You speak, I'll believe. And somehow he wasn't able to believe until Jesus spoke. The speaking by Jesus was the thing that would cause him to believe, to turn his faith loose. Sure, he believed right. But one must believe more than right. He must release that believing. He must get it into action. For it is one's active faith, his released faith, his faith that's turned loose, that heals him. Because the prayer of faith shall save the sick, and the Lord shall raise him up. All of it is action. You release your faith. God releases his power. You believe, and God heals. You do something, God does something. You turn to God, God turns to you. You believe in him, and he sends his power down to your life. So many people say, well, when God gets ready to heal me, he will. He has been ready for centuries. What are you waiting on? He is waiting on you to believe. He is waiting on you to release that faith you have in you. He is waiting upon you to believe right and to turn your faith loose. If you believe that tonight, say amen. Now, what do we do? The most important are these three. Number one, if you wish to be healed, make Jesus Christ of Nazareth your Lord. Transfer your allegiance from man to God. Number two, recognize that Jesus of Nazareth has the authority and power over the sickness and disease in your body. Recognize that Christ is the authority. He is the power, and he has it, and he gives it, and he can give it to you. And then number three, get yourself a point of contact and with it turn your faith loose. Your faith is wonderful in you, but it heals when it gets out of you. When you release it, get yourself a point of contact. And when you have that point of contact, turn your faith loose. Oh, I wish I knew how to say this tonight. I wish I knew how to urge upon you the necessity of turning your faith loose. Not only must you recognize him as the Lord, and that he has authority and power, but you must actually get that faith out of you in order for it to heal you. And it will do it. Jesus turned to him and he said, as thou hast believed, so be it done unto thee. And the man saluted, accepted it, turned and went back to the army barracks, fully believing that his servant would be healed. And the Bible says his servant was healed in the self-same hour. Immediately his servant was healed. You say, Brother Roberts, and people say this to me all the time, that was 2,000 years ago. Sure, I believe that. And if I could come to Christ personally and see him in the flesh and say, you speak the word, well, I would believe. Well, this is why this story was placed in the Bible. To show you that Christ healed at a distance. He was not there in person. He did not lay his hands upon the servant of the Roman army captain. The servant was healed through the faith of his captain, who released it when Christ gave him his point of contact. And the marvelous thing about this is, here is Jesus Christ in heaven, his Spirit filling this world. Believe that he has authority and power over your diseases. And then get yourself a point of contact and turn your faith loose. Because God's in this present world. He's here right now if we only believe in him.